Hi, Marie.
Hi,
Congratulations on your interview.
thank you.
Can we
Ah,
know what the role is for?
It's a program manager in the e-commerce space. I worked at this job from like 2011 through 2019 and had some other roles in between, and now I'm maybe going back.
So, how do you feel going into this interview?
I feel a little bit better because I know the background of the company. I know what it feels like to work there, but I still get a little nervous. And how do I sell myself in that short amount of time and making sure I'm hitting the points properly for the hiring manager?
What is it specifically concerning you about making specific points?
I guess it's always like the star method that gets me, like the behavioral stuff. I just always get tripped up on that. And in the last few roles that I've had, I haven't had huge projects that I've managed, and that's kind of tripping me up a little bit too. Like, did I manage enough big projects to move on to the next phase of interviewing? Imposter
Mhm.
syndrome a little bit coming in.
Oh my gosh, I just did an HHF call this afternoon and we talked all about imposter syndrome. So, you're not alone. First off, I want to have a pep talk with you because
Yeah.
you got called into this interview with them knowing your background already. You haven't held this role since 2019. Why do you think they've invited you in for the interview?
I think they like what I've done since then. I've gone on to do a lot of the stuff that they're looking for in this role. I ended up going to Meta after that, and Microsoft, so some big tech companies. And I think they feel I could bring that experience back. I'm interviewing at Etsy.
They love the caliber of organizations that you've worked for.
Yeah.
And yet you're here asking, did I work on big enough projects?
Yes.
Tell me more about that. Where's that conclusion go?
Um, so I guess at my most recent role, the projects were short. They were maybe 2 weeks long, maybe a few months long, not these big, drawn out tech projects that I'm assuming they're going to be looking for.
How does having quick execution and shorter projects make it an advantage to these companies that have larger, longer projects?
That I can work fast on my feet, that you have no time to waste. I have to get stuff done in a super short amount of time instead of dragging stuff out for months. So,
More effective,
yeah.
more efficient. Maybe these big launches don't have to be as long. Can we find ways to make it faster, quicker, so that we can get XYZ results? Can you see how that's actually an advantage and why they maybe even brought you in because they're like, oh, I want to know what she's doing at these big companies. And maybe you have a very different outlook having worked at these fast-paced companies that expect a lot that you're bringing over. So it's not so much like, what have I not done? But it's like, how is my background advantageous? Can I focus on that? And if you can do that, do you think you could do these longer projects? When you say, how do I sell myself? How do you feel?
Like a little defeated. Like, "Mm,
How do I prove myself? That's really like hypervigilant. That's not a calm, connected state. That's like, I need to make sure I'm polished. I need to make sure everything's perfect. And that's a lot of pressure. And when we have pressure in an environment setting, we choke.
yeah, yes,
We can't think clearly because all of our energy is rushing to our body. It's rushing to our arms, our legs. I love nervous system regulation because whenever we're feeling hypervigilant, like I'm not safe, I'm not connected, I need to be fearful, I need to prove myself, our energy is rushing from our brain to our arms and our legs, saying, move. It's not safe here. Move. And you have nowhere to move to, right? Do you need
yeah.
to be strategic or do you need to run fast? You need strategic. Instead of thinking, like, how do I prove myself? How do I sell myself? Let me ask how you want to feel instead in this interview.
Mm, I want to feel confident and I know my stuff. I have the experience to do the role for sure. That's
Yeah.
like, feel.
Yeah, I want to feel confident. So instead of how do I sell myself, what would be another thought that can help you feel confident going in?
Because I want to come in relaxed as my full authentic self.
Beautiful. They've seen my resume, they know my background. I'm just showing up as me
Yeah.
because I want to help them. I want to help Etsy with what I know.
Yep.
Can you sense the safety and the connection rather than the pressure in this?
Yes. Feels a lot more soothing and chill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
chill. So that's going to be your work. Is it in person or
Video. Yep.
beautiful? Before you go into the waiting room, ground yourself, shake off the nerves, like literally go like this, take off all the nerves. for 2 minutes, then some deep inhales, some deep exhales, and ground yourself back to that reminder. They've seen my resume. I'm just going to connect with my authentic self. I'm going to prove myself. I'm just going to connect with my authentic self. You've already done your research. You've already done your homework. You can show up way more confidently and open, which is what we talked about. It doesn't matter how great your background is or what your skills are. They're going to go with the other candidate that they felt connected to. So you're going to crush it tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you both. This is awesome.